There's dirt on my boots, there's smoke in the sky, and a letter in my coat I read every night. Smells like her hair, a whisper of home. In this land of steel thunder, I'm never alone. She wrote, come back to me, don't break my heart. But the war keeps dragging, tearing us apart. I close my eyes, pretend I'm back there, where she kissed my cheek and tucked back my hair. Bullets don't scare me, but time sure does, 'cause I don't know if I'll ever feel her love. But I keep her close through the fire and the rain, through the thunder of the guns, through the screaming pain. I hold her words like a shield to my chest. In the chaos of war, her love's what's left. If this is the end, let her know I smiled, that I died with her name on my lips the whole while. No medals I want, just her to be free to dance again and remember me sweetly. I kept her close through the darkness and the flame, through the ghosts of fallen brothers, through the blood and shame. That letter she wrote was more than just ink. It kept me alive when I started to sing.
She didn't scream, and I didn't beg. She just turned, walked out, no words were said. I watched her leave like a ghost in the rain, took the light from the room and left only pain. Now every corner holds a memory's face, the shape of her smile, the warmth of her grace. The couch still has her perfume trapped inside, but no matter how I breathe, it burns my mind. When she walked away, she took more than her coat. She stole my future, every dream I wrote. Now the silence in here screams louder each day. It's true, sometimes love is letting go when it wants to stay. Friends ask me why I don't move on, but they don't know the wars I've already won. Just to wake up, just to not call her name, to not search her shadow in the morning rain. She was the air, now breathing hurts. She was my peace, now I know what I'm worth. And it's not enough to bring her back, So I hold the hurt like a photograph. When she walked away, she shattered the sky, left me holding all the reasons why. Now I sit in this home with ghosts in the frame, still loving her gently, though she forgot my name. I fixed the leak in the room, cleaned out her drawer, but I still find her voice behind the bedroom door. The mirror still shows her lips did trace. Some things don't leave even when they're replaced.
I whisper goodbye when no one could hear, said it to the wind so it disappears. And maybe that's how love finally fades, not in thunder but in quiet, broken ways.
When she walked away, I learned to survive, not to live, just to stay. Barely alive, she was a fire I could never contain. Now I carry the ashes every step, every day. When she walked away, the world didn't fall, but mine did. Silent with no sound at all. Now I hum our song when I'm feeling brave, still loving her gently, like a fool to the grave. Still loving her gently, like a fool to the grave.
I met her where the coffee stains her soul, a small cafe all made where time would roll. We laughed between the steam and the sugar spoons. She'd smile and say, this place feels like a tomb. We grew old between those wooden chairs. Years spilled like coffee and love was everywhere. We had fights, we had peace like waves and sand. But I never stopped holding her wrinkled hand. Then one cold morning she didn't come, just silent, sitting where her coffee'd run. They said, you should move on, let go. But they don't know what my bones still know. I still order 2 coffees every day, one for her, though she's far away. She lives in the light that spills on the floor. She walks through the bell when they open the door. To them it's just habit, a crazy old thrill, but to me it's our love. 2 coffees still. They see an old man with a distant stare, but I see her shadow sitting right there. She jokes in my head, sips slow and sweet, and I talk to the air like she's across from me. I still order 2 coffees every day, one for her, though she's gone away. I wait for her laugh and the sound of the rain. I feel her fingers inside every flame. To the world, I'm a man that time tried to kill, but love never dies. 2 coffees still.
She whispered hope with trembling hands. The doctor stared with hollow plans. He made a vow by his silent bed. I'll chase the cure till my last breath spent. He ran 1,000 miles for her through frozen nights and desert blur. He begged, he prayed, he bled, he tried and carried love like fire inside. Even if she slipped away, he swore to fight come night or day. He knocked on doors across the seas, wrote letters soaked in desperate pleas. He slept on benches, missed his meals, but never broke and never kneeled. He ran 1,000 miles for her, faced border storms and silence slurred. Each doctor's no just sparked his flame. He said her life would wear his name. Even if the world said no, he'd climb the sky, he'd crawl below. She smiled one night and took his hand. I know you tried more than any man. He held her close and kissed her tears. Even the gods must hear you, dear. He ran 1,000 miles for her, and every step his soul endured. He didn't save her weakened frame, but kept her pride and killed her shame. Sometimes a man must lose to prove that real love never needs to move. Now he walks that road alone, but not as someone who's undone. He tells her story town to town, of love that shook the heavens down. He ran 1,000 miles for her, and love like that will not deter. He carved her name through hills and fire and lit the sky with his desire. Though fate was cruel, the fight was pure. 1,000 miles for something sure. Ooh. And when his breath begins to fade, he'll see her in
with burning eyes and weathered bones. No love like his is hard to find. He left his life a step behind.
He met her selling roses by the street. No diamonds, just her bare and dusty feet. She smiled and all the world went still, a queen not crowned but royalty by will. She was his queen, though no one saw. No silks, no gold, no grand applause. But every breath she ever gave, he'd trade his soul just to replay. She ruled his heart without a throne and made his worn-out world her home. He worked from dawn until the stars to buy her books, to fix her jars. He'd bring her things she'd never need, but love was how he chose to feed. She was his queen and he her knight, their kingdom built in candlelight. He gave her skies in paper folds, and she returned his hands made gold. She never asked for more than him, and so he wore her love with him. They aged in silence, hand in hand. No audience, no wedding band, but every wrinkle on her skin he kissed like it was porcelain. She was his queen, the truth he knew, while others chased what's flashing new. He saw the stars inside her face and spent his life in her embrace. Though they had less than most could bear, he lived a love beyond compare. She passed one morning soft and light, like petals fading out of sight. He held her hand and softly said, "Without your light, I'm cold and dead." She was his queen in every way. No riches ever made him sway. They laid her down with simple grace, but he still sees her in that place where roses bloom beside the road, and love is all a man can hold. He died with pennies in his coat, but every cent had bought her hope. No statues rose, no stories told, just one true love worth more than gold. She was his queen through joy and pain, through winter storms and summer rain. He never ruled, but he had won with every sunrise, every song. He died unknown to those above, but in her eyes he was enough. And if you pass that old stone street, you'll feel the echo in your feet. A love that bloomed where few would see, a throne of roses, wild and free.
We met in rooms with flickering light, where love was cheap but burned so bright. She kissed like storms, wild and brief, left her scent on every sheet. No talk of dreams, no plans to make, just heat that made the ceiling shake. I never asked her for her name. She gave me fire, I gave her flame. These motel nights, they stole my soul. No promises, no self-control. I knew she'd vanish with the dawn. cracked, the paint peeled slow, but all I saw was her shadow glow. She bit her lip, then looked away, like saints afraid of what they pray. These motel nights, so wild, so wrong. No lullabies, just one-night songs. I held her like she disappeared, 'cause I knew the end was near. But every second felt like gold, even if love just came and stole. She left a note, don't chase, don't cry, just lipstick kisses, one last lie. I sat there naked with the truth that some flames live then die in you. These motel nights where angels fall, where sinners dance against the wall. I lost her like a breath at sea, but she still burns inside of me. It wasn't meant to stay or save, just burn and break, then float away.
She came like dawn on borrowed time, a moving poem in skin and rhyme. He saw her once and lost his sleep. His canvas begged, his soul ran deep. He painted her in crimson hues, in joy and tears, in shadowed blues. Each stroke a prayer, he couldn't speak. Each eye he drew was soft and weak. She was his muse, his haunted dream, a living brush stroke in between the line of love, the edge of pain. He drew her face again, and though she left without goodbye, she lived within his painted sky. He knew she'd go, he saw the end, but artists love what they can't bend. She left him cold, but left her light in every canvas kissed by night. She was his muse and still she is, in every line his hand forgives. He drew her laughing then in tears across the walls of all his years. And though her warmth was never near, he found her breath in every smear. He spoke to her in shades and oils, a madman mixing love and soil, naked in color, clothed in grace. He tried to paint her soul in place. She was his muse, his final flame, the one he painted past all shame. She left but in his aching chest. He kept her face, her life, her dress. Not even time could wash her hue. She stayed in every drop he drew.
found him still, brush in his grip, a canvas wet with her last kiss. And in that room of art and cries, she lived again behind his eyes. She was his muse and always stayed in every color love had made. Though she was gone, he made her stay. With every breath he gave away, he died a man the world called mad. But in his eyes, she never left.
They met one summer, short and sweet. She danced like fire, barefoot on the street. She said, come autumn, I'll be near. Then kissed his lips and disappeared. So when the leaves began to fall, he waited by the maple tall, with flowers wrapped in paper blue, a boy in love, a heart that knew. She said she'd come back, and he believed through every year the world to see. He waited under skies of rust, with open arms and aching trust. And though the winds began to change, his love like stone just stayed the same. 10 years went by, then 20 more. Still autumn knocked on his door. Each time he'd walk the path again, a letter aged inside his hand. She said she'd come back, and so he stayed, while time erased the vows they made. The world moved on, the town forgot, but not the boy who loved a lot. His hair turned gray, his hands grew thin, but still he waited in the wind. The tree grew tall, the bench grew warm, his coat now thread, his hope well torn. But every autumn, like before, he sat and watched that wooden door. She said she'd come back, maybe she lied, but he still felt her at his side. Some loves don't age, they just repeat, like dreams that echo in defeat. He gave his life to one goodbye and never learned the reason why. Found him still, one autumn cold, a single flower, a hand to hold. The note still tucked against his chest read, I'll return until then rest. She said she'd come back, and so he waited for promises that time had faded. But love like his won't rot or rot, it simply stays, though she did not. And when the leaves begin to spin, he's still out there, waiting in them.
We saw her dancing on that stage, a flame of light uncaged. We watched her move like time stood still, and knew she'd always alive.
street-born soul behind the bars. She found him bleeding in the rain, a woman made of chalk and flame. She said, "You're more than fists and pride," and made the monster red and right. She taught him letters, gave him dreams, told him life was more than schemes. He left the steel, the smoke, the crew, for books and whispers drenched in truth. And in her arms the storm went still. He learned the power of gentle will. He was a wolf, she made him sing. She crowned the outlaw like a king. No saints believed he could transform, but she saw flowers in the storm. When love is fire and grace is grit, even the damned can rise from it. She wore chalk dust like perfume. He brought her roses, stole the moon. They danced in secret, kissed in light. Two misfits burning in the night. The barrio whispered, laughed and stared, but he no longer even cared. He was a wolf, she made him write poems in ink, not in the night. He held her hand like sacred flame. She gave the devil back his name. And when she smiled, the world stood still, a bandit bound by love, not will. But life, it plays its cruelest song. She grew pale, then she was gone. No cure, no prayer could turn the tide. He held her close the night she died, and whispered, "You rewrote my soul. Now I must carry what you told."
I was a shadow with a loaded hand. She turned my rage into a love so grand. Now I return not with a gun but with her words and all we've done. They said I'd never change. She proved them all wrong.
He was a wolf, but she believed, and in her love he was redeemed. Now every child that hears his tale learns even wolves can leave the jail. She gave him truth, she gave him light, so now he fights, but for what's right. He was a wolf turned by a star. She taught the streets what poets are. No stone, no grave can dim her name. He walks in fire but speaks in flame. The outlaw with a rose in hand, who loved the queen and took a stand.